Hey, hey.
Man, that intro is fire. It gets me hyped every time.
Every single time. What up, Jess?
Hey, we're back at it again. Welcome to another episode of the Culture and Chaos podcast, you guys, where politics meet the people's culture and facts meet the fun. I am Jessica Cymone.
And I'm Santana. Let's break down this week's headline, debunk myths, and dive into the chaos that shapes the entire world. Jess, are you ready?
I'm ready. You ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah. Jess, I'm so happy to be back. I'm happy to be back.
Me too. Like we were saying last week, it doesn't feel like work. Like we get excited to be here. So that's where I'm at with it for sure.
Mm-hmm. I go through like the week and the day or my day, and I think about like what do we have to do and how it looks, and I'm always so excited to get into this. It feels special.
Yeah, I agree. I would definitely have to agree there. Well, let's get into it. Of course, we want to start with the comment of the week, you guys. I want to thank you guys, with all of your engagement, supporting, liking, sharing. And each week we pick a special comment. So shout out to Tech Memphis 7094 that said the intro is absolutely fire, which I agree. Okay.
Boom.
Hearing the little bit of more in-depth backstories was nice also. Minecraft movie for me is a 75%. It's really a Jack Black movie. If Minecraft isn't your thing. So one, thank you for that. So I can just kind of put that on the back burner a little bit. It's not urgent. And the tariffs on and off nonsense is for real though. Absolute whiplash from it. Okay. The tariffs is on. The tariffs is on. The tariffs is on. The tariffs is on.
Listen, Jess, first and foremost, shout out to Tech Memphis. That's my guy, right? Love me some Tech Memphis, but Smooth came through and had like multiple points that broke down like different parts of the pocket. That's how we know he actually watched and paid attention. So listen, if you guys want to get your special shout out, like we are shouting out Tech Memphis, make sure that after the podcast, you guys actually listen to it and comment, give us something good, and we will actually pick you as our next comment of the week.
Or if you like me, I comment as I go. So sometimes I end up with like 12 comments. As soon as you say something, I'm like, it's like I'm talking to you right here on the phone or something. You know what I mean?
You know what, Jess? I would not expect that from you. It's not like that you double, triple, or quadruple text or anything.
I'm like, what you doing? Where you get that from?
Yeah.
Where's it going? Oh yeah, and then don't forget this part too.
Yeah. All right, Jess. Let's get into it. All right.
Well, you know how we started off. Let's get into this week and Trump's America. And shout out to Memphis talking about those tariffs, because baby, we are entering one of the biggest tariff wars that we have ever seen in our lifetime, for sure. Okay.
Yep. No, absolutely. And the interesting part about all of this is the fact that it's two old men playing chicken. Just it's two old men who, for some reason, thinks that the other person is wrong and they refuse to give.
Yeah. You know how your daddy or your granddaddy don't want to let you drive the car? Like, I got it. I'm still driving. But yet you keep hitting the curbs, you're running the stop signs, you're holding on so tight to that little piece right there while they're driving. That's what it's giving.
Listen, Jess, it's like I attribute it to like men in the thermostat, right? You know how daddies, the daddies, they don't want nobody touching the thermostat.
Did you touch the thermostat? Did you turn it up?
And they know if you touch the thermostat and you touch the thermostat, it's gonna be hell to pay. And somebody touched Xi Jinping's thermostat, which was Trump, and now they're going back and forth to see like who can actually, I wanted at 70. No, I wanted at 71.
Well, I'm putting it at 72.
Yeah, listen, it's ridiculous, Jess, and we're the ones that are actually being impacted by that. And I think the most interesting thing to come out of all of this, for me, at least so far, is the Chinese people on TikTok giving up the game.
I was just about to say that. I was like, you got to look at the positive, out of each situation. And it was like, oh, you want to play.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, your whole luxury propaganda is a scam. You can get it over here for $2. We can cut out the middleman. You can get it right here. And I'm like, do you know you can get Tide Pods or something for like 5 cents a pop?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. And they ain't gonna lie, they low key petty and I low key like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I tell you what, and so like I knew about the fact that luxury brands they were made in China and then they went
Mhm.
to the different countries. The thing I didn't know was how they can actually declare it as like made in Italy or whatever,
Mhm.
even though the product is made in China
It's an
and
illusion.
they put the tag on in Italy. They say,
Mm.
"Oh, it was made in Italy," right? That's enough to
It's
qualify
it
for it.
work.
I love the fact that they're giving up the game, Jess.
Yeah, yeah. Come on, tell me more. Tell me
Yeah,
more.
yeah. And I think we have a quick video. Like, listen, that spill the tea,
Yes, come
spill the
on.
tea.
Oh, that could be a segment. Spill the
Yeah.
tea.
And listen, sometimes you got to do it. So I know this is a video of them going through talking about how like the different products were made, right? And they're showing the difference as far as like, yes, even though these products are made here, they're shipped out, and just actually giving the comparison of like, oh, yeah, Trump threw those tariffs on, but like here's how you actually get it. Right. And so people might
Mhm.
have saw those videos all around TikTok or whatever, but they're giving direct links as far as how you skip the middleman, how you skip the tariffs, and get the products for the low ski.
They giving the game. What's interesting is that they spent years, decades in propaganda, um, telling Americans why they need this luxury and why it costs so much and how it makes you superior to others just to figure out all of this stuff. This is like this changes the game.
Yeah,
It,
no, it absolutely does. All right, so Jess, let's move on to the next one because this is interesting, right? We all know, and for me, I am from South Carolina. I have family that was actually impacted by Hurricane Helene, and this week there was an actual issue where North Carolinians, the North Carolina government, is seeking more funds
hmm,
for FEMA to help with all of the additional repairs and
hmm.
things that are still needed in North Carolina. And the Trump administration said, "Nah, bitch." Uh,
It's given very much FO of the FAFO, okay? And
yes.
no, because remember you were hollering $750 wasn't enough.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're taking money from FEMA, putting it here.
Mm-hmm.
And in actuality, the only person that did that was your man's. The
Yep.
ones making the claim.
Yep.
Every projection is a confession. And
Yep.
then now you're asking for money, you're not getting it at all. So I wonder what they're gonna have to say about that.
Yeah, listen, it's interesting because we understand that there's a lot of people that voted for Trump,
Yep.
and whether they voted for him for one reason or the other, and they always they never thought that the leopards were going to eat their face, Jess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And right now, the leopards they're getting full.
Mm-hmm.
They are, Jess. They
Mm-hmm.
are
Mm-hmm.
snacking, and
Like
people are
missing a
finding
little
out.
spot right there on your face. I wonder what got it.
Yeah, yeah, but I think it's interesting in which I mean, like the fact that the Trump administration wants to not only dismantle certain government agencies, but reduce certain government programs, and like sending FEMA back to the state. Like North Carolina, you already can't actually do
You know
what you
what
need.
it's given he don't want to go to work. If I give
Mm,
everything back to the states, I don't have to do anything. I could
mm-hmm,
golf more.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Again, every projection is a confession because you're like, you guys need to come back to work, but you're not going to work. You can't work from home, but you literally work from home.
mm-hmm.
Mm.
No, Jess, for me, it's like it, it's a get out of jail free card, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every time something happens, well, we got to give it back to the states. Well, hey, what about the actual, FEMA fund? Well, we're gonna send it back to the states. Well, what about there's a flood? Yeah, we're gonna send it back to the states. Every single thing they're gonna send it back to the states. I'm telling you, Jess.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm,
Before you
mm-hmm.
know it, he's not gonna have anything to do. And that's how
Yeah,
you want it. I can have the power, have the military, but don't actually have a job to do. And then they could just parade around for my birthday and just show how great I am. Tell me how great
yep,
I am, which is
yep,
wild.
yep. Absolutely. But
That's
Jess,
your
we
man.
move.
So, okay. Mhm.
Yeah.
But that is Trump's America. Okay. So,
Mm-hmm.
everything that he does obviously impact us, but I always try to look at the positive. So that's just in America. That ain't even got back to like what he's particularly doing this week.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Because
let's get into it, Jess. Let's get into
yeah.
what did he do this week, right? Because that's been insane. I mean, I
Mhm.
know we talk about a lot of different things, but what did he do this week, Jess?
Well, one of the things that he's done is cut funding.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Trump says he wants to give money and airplanes to immigrants who self-deport. Now, I don't know if there are like tiers to his deportation plan. So we have the ones that we deport. Now we
Mm-hmm.
have self-deporters. We'll give
Mm-hmm.
you money and an airplane ticket if you self-deport.
Yeah, no, I was listening to Tom Holman talk about this, right? And their premise is, well, if you actually report and leave yourself, then when it's time and you try to come back into the country, it'll be cheaper and we'll let you get back in and blah 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 blah. It's a bunch of crap, right?
But my thing is, go
They
ahead, go ahead.
converted the CBP One app to the actual way to self deport.
That shit is a joke. I swear to God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm getting the self-support. So why are you talking about, coming back in?
Yeah, I just like
Why am I
they're fear
deporting you if you're
mongering.
making a way for me to come back in?
They're fear mongering just because the simple fact of the matter is that doing this mass deportation on the scale that they're looking to actually complete it is going to cost about $88 billion a year,
Mm.
and just they ain't got it. They ain't got it, and so they're like, listen, if you go ahead and leave, I ain't even gonna worry about it. So it's all just a game, Jess.
But then I need you to come back later.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because we understand that even Trump was talking about like, well, we've been working with farmers and with the farmers, if they have to actually, if some of their people have to leave, if they self-deport, then we'll make it easy for them to get back. Or don't even waste the time.
We could just not deport them. We could
That
just, or we could find a faster path to citizenship.
yeah.
And we could have had a beautiful, intelligent president.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I'm telling you, Jess, I always say there's no better argument that you can compare when you talk about mass amnesty versus mass deportation. It's not even close. Mass
Mhm.
amnesty gives us so much more than mass
Mhm.
deportation.
It benefits the country on a massive scale, which I don't get, which makes me like, how can you be for America and be proposing this stuff that only hurts us? It's
Mm-hmm. Well,
given it's given like when you're like when he's like, we'll deport you and you can come back. I'll deport you and you can come back. It's given the tariffs on, tariffs off. Tariffs on, tariffs off. Make a decision.
mm-hmm. I'm telling you that, like, that's how they do everything. That's one of my biggest problems with this administration. But you know what's another huge problem, at least in my opinion, Jess? The fact that Trump is thirsty for Xi. That's a problem. Yeah, Trump is literally out there like, Xi, I need you to hit my phone. Where you at, Xi? Xi needs to call me. Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping. They say Donald Trump wants to make a deal with Xi Jinping in the
I
tariff
bet.
war, but he's waiting for him to call him, Jess.
Pick up the phone.
Mm.
Kiss me through the phone. Trump, you're gonna have to pick up the phone. But then also too, and this is alleged, I heard that he's not answering his calls. I heard
Yeah.
he's like, I don't want to talk about it. You didn't raise your tariffs. That's the thing about bullying. People will call your bluff. You know what I mean? Not only will they call your bluff, they'll raise you one. And then all of a sudden you done stepped in shit and you can't get it off. You can't get it off.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about all of this, Jess, is that like Donald Trump has centered himself as being this strong man, as this bully, as someone who can, force his way through any and every situation. But then when you consider yourself to be the bully, but you come up against someone who considers himself to be the bully as well, So you have that situation of the unstoppable force meets the immovable object.
But I always say, what happens to the bully? When we watch all of these movies and through our experiences in school, what always happens to the bully? The bully ends up getting his ass beat.
Mm.
You know, the bully does not come out on top. You try to go bully that one person, and somebody's going to have their back, and they punch you right in the nose, and then you cry.
Yep. Every single time. And the one thing that we do know for a fact are bullies are really weak. They like to project, but they're absolutely weak.
And we know that for a fact. Yep. That's always some daddy or some mommy issues, or both. Some childhood trauma there. You know what? Maybe he should see a therapist, unpack some of the childhood trauma, because I heard his daddy was not playing.
Yeah, no, Fred. Listen, Fred. The fact that he was Ku Klux Klan member, and just there's a whole thing. I mean, his grandpappy was he was a pimp. He was a pimp. He owned brothels. He came from Germany, owned brothels here in the United States. It's like they got a whole history, Jess.
And it ain't looking too good. But as they say, it's okay when he does it.
Absolutely,
it's cool when they do it.
Yeah. So what else did he do, Jess?
You know what? Also too. Well, we tariffs on, tariffs off. Allegedly trying to fix all this, have this money for all of his billionaires. So they just continuously cut. You cut your Medicaid, you cut your Social Security. They've even cut $9.3 billion from PBS, NPR, and the State Department. That's why with this you already cutting education. PBS was educating a lot of people, whether politically or Sesame Street used to be my jam.
Yep.
But now
you ever watch Dragon Tales, Jess?
I don't know. That's kind of you trying to age me.
Listen,
because I'm not a day over fabulous in this bitch. Okay,
I get it.
But Dragon Tales, I love me some Dragon Tales. Okay, I do. Oh, if you guys watch Dragon Tales, put it in the chat, in the comments. Don't leave us out over here, okay?
I'm telling you, I remember. So PBS was a huge thing as far as what helped shape me, because growing up in the ghetto, we didn't really have cable, and so I watched a lot of PBS, and I love shows like Dragon Tales and Reading
Magic
Rainbow. Freaking Ghost Rider. Yeah, exactly.
Ghost Rider used to be my favorite show, hands down, Ghost Rider, y'all.
Yep. But my absolute favorite, Jess, and it made me want to get this because of the show, Wishbone. With the Jack Russell Terrier who used to read the books, and then he would actually play out. He would be the dog main character.
That little white dog, right?
Yep. Freaking Wishbone. I loved Wishbone. And it made me want to get a Jack Russell Terrier so bad.
Did you get one?
No.
Your mom said, we ain't getting no damn dog.
No. I ain't getting no dog. But yeah.
And also, too, PBS and NPR, they're going to report the accurate news as well, too. So, he can't have it.
Yeah, I think that these multiple cuts that are being made, and it's also interesting to me that they're making the cuts to the State Department as well, right, are all centered around limiting a lot of different things, including the actual scope and reach that we have worldwide. Because yes, the PBS and NPR are very important to us domestically, but a lot of the things that they perpetuate is very impactful when it comes to soft power internationally, in which we know that ties into the State Department as well. So it's all a circle. It's all a circle, and they're trying to shrink the circle.
Circle jerk. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I am caught up and had a little bit enough of the chaos. I just need a quick break. I just want to get into the entertainment of the week and see what's happening in the culture.
Or the culture, right?
Yeah,
we're done with the chaos. Now it's time to get to the culture.
Yeah, because You know what I'm saying? So just we shine a light on that and dim that and kind of get to the facts. Maybe it'll help you do a little bit of critical thinking. But let's get into the entertainment. What's hot?
What's hot?
What's hot?
Hot.
You-
Make it hot.
You know what was happening this past week? Oh, Coachella. Coachella, if you guys don't know, which who doesn't know, is one of the hottest festivals of the year. Everybody remember Beyonce's Homecoming, you know, what she did. That was lit. And you know what my favorite part of Coachella was?
What's that?
Megan Thee Stallion. Okay, first of all, this some sexy shit. I'm hot girl shit all day.
I know that's right.
Okay, she brought out Sierra, which was classic because you know we know my goodies, and you know okay, yeah, you that was like one of my favorite. Everybody grew up in that doing that same dance, and for them to her to bring her out after using her sample, then mesh the dances in. I thought that was beautiful, and it was just like paying homage. You know, I'm a girl's girl all through and through, and to see them showing so much love to Megan and all the work that she's done, she fucking deserves it. Yep. Her bringing out Victoria Monet, baby. I was like, how did I get in the middle of this little sandwich? You know what I'm saying?
I don't even blame you, Jess. Go on.
I'm pretty sure I wasn't the only one thinking it.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. Jess, I tell you what, and you might vilify me for this for a second. And one, I absolutely love Meg, right? She is a beast, and I advocate for everything that she does. I'm not that much of a fan of Coachella.
Oh no, I'm not a Coachella fan either.
Yeah, no,
but I am a Meg Thee Stallion fan.
Yeah. I'm telling you, like for me, Jess, it always just gives me like Burning Man, right? It's like I just for some reason I think about like kombucha and like natural soap, and you know, you're not taking showers for days, and
it's hot. The only way you would probably catch me at Coachella is if Megan Thee Stallion hit me up and say, "We got backstage passes the next time you out there." Okay.
Yeah.
If I got backstage passes, I'm with somebody. I don't want to stand in no desert. I hate standing up all day. I don't like being hot. Can't sit down. Everybody around me on some type of something. You know what I'm saying?
Of something.
Yeah, that is. But I definitely can watch the highlights and the clips, and I love what they did.
Yeah, no, listen, I mean, if you want to talk about what they actually did, and again, not much of a Coachella person, but there are certain people that understand, like, to reach the people, you have to go out and be amongst the people. And the person that really got that this past weekend was Bernie, right? Bernie Sanders ended up at Coachella on stage in front of everybody, which can we take a moment to appreciate this 70-something-year-old Jewish man ended up at Coachella on the main stage talking to so many young people about what's important. Ain't nobody else doing that, Jess.
You know what? One, I agree with you. And it was smart to take advantage of the moments. Two, but if it was Kamala Harris, y'all would have found a way to be mad about it. Be mad about it. So he can be there in the vicinity where Megan is twerking on stage, but she can't come to her rally, which is it's kind of given very much. And I saw this video too. Now the owner of Coachella spends a lot of his money on right-wing propaganda as well, and anti-LGBTQ organizations, which I did not know until literally like last night when I was scrolling on fucking. So it's very interesting on someone who is right wing who throws this show, which very much leftist and bring the leftists on stage. So I'm just curious into what else was happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, just I mean, we know for a fact that that happens a lot, right? I mean, those ultra wealthy billionaires, whatever, like they play whatever game they have to play to make sure that they are lining their pockets. But at the end of the day, they don't have values, so they're willing to portray one image while doing another image. And so you always got to just watch. I always say this: just watch the money, right? Watch the money. Watch where they're putting their actual money, not where they're taking in money, but where they're putting that money, and that'll tell you what they're all about. So.
But my thing is, if you're thinking critically, like if these conversion therapies and all these places worked or whatever, you wouldn't have your audience. You wouldn't have Coachella. So I don't know.
Yep.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, but for me, Jess, like I love the fact that Bernie came out and that was cool. And I know you mentioned Meg, and again, I love Meg, but T-Pain. T-Pain. Listen, Teddy, pinned her ass down. Listen, Mr. I love the bartender.
She be making them
drinks. Yeah. Jess, no, listen, first and foremost, T-Pain is always a vibe.
Yeah.
Right? And secondly,
okay.
he always puts on an amazing show. And to see what he did at Coachella was mind-blowing.
You know what? That's the only clip that I didn't see.
Really?
That's the only clip that I didn't see.
Holy smoke.
And I didn't see Missy, but I heard that everybody in the crowd was standing there. But I know Missy put on a great show, because I would have been like, so you know that, but I didn't see the T-Pain clip.
Yep. No, like you have to take some time, go back and watch that, because T-Pain put it down. I mean, he's such a performer. He actually
Put It Down is actually one of my favorite songs that he had.
Yeah. He mixed in which one? It was it Squabble Up? And one of his songs. Listen, T-Pain is a different type of animal, and people don't give him the credit that he deserves because of the auto-tune and like all this other stuff. But T-Pain is a legend in the game, and he's been doing it for a long time, and he's still, getting after it.
Shout out to T-Pain, y'all. W's in the chat for T-Pain. I would I'm gonna have to go look at this now.
Yeah.
Put It Down was one of my favorite ones. He was like, yeah, don't move too fast. You're gonna ruin the mood. And he was like, don't ask me why I got it. If I didn't, you be I don't know. I gotta play that whenever we get off of here. Okay. Just go back down memory lane a little bit.
Listen, my favorite thing was T Wayne, right? Everyone knows me knows I'm a huge Lil Wayne fan.
First of all,
and yeah, no,
go ahead.
Jess,
I'm a Lil Wayne fan too. I used to think we was gonna get married.
The collaboration, the actual energy and effort that T-Pain and Lil Wayne put together, it was freaking amazing. Got money, and you know it. Take it out your pocket and throw it, then show it like.
Okay, now that song was lit. Song was lit. That song was lit. I used to think that I was gonna marry Lil Wayne. Like I was delusional. Like, I manifested him into my life. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, Dwayne didn't call me today, and it was like, who is Dwayne? Like, Lil Wayne, my husband.
Dwayne Carter, harder than
a mother. Baby mama number 12,
baby. Not 12, Jess. Jeez.
Yeah, but then I did manifest him into my life, and I saw him in real life. And I was like in his section. Ironically, didn't even know it, and immediately my feelings went off. I'm like, and that's why you shouldn't make decisions off of your feelings. You should make them off of facts. But that's a whole another story. But that T Wayne, when they got into that whole auto-tune album, it was a no for me. I wish auto-tune would have fucking died right then.
I don't know, Jess. Like I fucks with the collabs. I just
that song I like, that album, that whole I hated the auto-tune album. I was so sick of it. I wanted him to just rap, because he already has a distinctive voice, which makes him Lil Wayne. You don't need to change it to sound like everybody else, because that's how we know you.
Yep. No. Yeah, but so like that was fun, Jess. It was. But I think that Coachella was cool, but there was a lot more crazy stuff that happened this past week outside of Coachella.
Like what?
Jess, you know they bringing back fucking dire wolves.
I want a dire wolf.
No, Jess, you don't. Do you know how big dire wolves are?
Yeah, have you watched Game of Thrones? You
Yes,
know I
I've
think I'm
seen
Arya Stark. Okay, the
Jess.
winter is coming.
Ain't no way, Jess.
But if they're bringing back dire wolves, and these are clone dire wolves, these ain't even real dire wolves. In my head, these are robotic dire wolves. These ain't even a real dire wolf. They probably programmed to do and certain shit. So it ain't a real dire wolf. I want
Just
a good thing or a bad thing.
the thing that I always think about, and this is why I'm not a fan of bringing back the dire wolves, right? And it seems like people don't pay attention to movies, and I'm a movie buff, right? And so when you do things like bring back prehistoric animals or whatever that have faded off, or in the case of dire wolves that were killed off specifically because of how dangerous they were, and you try to bring them back, you get things like Jurassic Park. Or when you want to make these robots that are helpers, like Elon did with Tesla, you get things like iRobot, right? Like, just like we know the game, we've seen this a million times, and yet for some reason people still think it's a good idea, and I don't get it, Jess.
I'm gonna do it anyway. Why do you think they decided to bring back dire wolves? Like what logic you think is backing it up?
Because they can. It's the hubris of man, Jess. Listen, someone once said the hubris of man is what makes men put birds in cages. Right? The simple fact that you take something that is not supposed to be caged, something that has the ability to fly and to travel and to soar, and your first thought or your inclination is, I want to take this creature that has the ability to touch the sky, and I want to put it inside of a cage so it can only do it when I say it can.
So what you're telling me is men inherently want control. They want to limit somebody's, as elevation, and they want to fuck up a good thing.
Yeah, no, okay. Listen. So to be clear, yes, men do that. Okay, I did say that, but it's the hubris of mankind. Women too. You're not gonna slide past that one, Jess.
I'm just saying. We just touching on it. What else happened? I heard we got new astronauts.
Celebrities in space, Jess. Why is listen, I would think that they would understand, like, to stop doing weird shit, and which not even necessarily weird, but when you talk about going to the bottom of the ocean or going to space, like, you think that I just want to take this little adventure. You got people, like Katy Perry hopping on the actual spaceship that Jeff Bezos owns and going to touch the moon. Don't get me wrong, Jess.
We can't fix homelessness. Oh, okay. We can't get universal health care. Oh, okay.
We ain't got the money for that, Jess. But we can build more rocket ships. We can build more submarines. We can build a bunch of useless shit, but we ain't got money for the other stuff.
So basically saying Whitey is back on the moon. Whitey on the moon. Yeah, come on.
My sister Nell with Whitey on the moon. And her face and arms began to swell, and Whitey's on the moon. I can't pay no doctor bills, but Whitey's on the moon.
Come on now.
20 years from now, I'll be paying still while Whitey's on the moon. You know, the man just upped my rent last night because Whitey's on the moon. No hot water, no toilets, and no lights, but Whitey's on the moon.
Let me tell you something.
Me.
Jill Scott.
Whitey's on the moon. I was already getting
Jill Scott
a week, and now Whitey's on the moon. Taxes taking my whole damn check. The junkies make me a nervous wreck. The price of food is going up. And as if all that crap wasn't enough, a rat done bit my sister Nell.
Ain't no way.
Not a rat. You must be in New York.
Her arms began to swell, and Whitey's on the moon. Was all that money I made last year for Whitey on the moon? How come I ain't got no money here? Poem said a rat done
on the moon. How long ago did he come out with that?
It looks like the 70s, Jess.
And look at us.
Still here.
Look at 50 years later.
We still here. I mean, it's always a situation where we continue to do some of the same things. And when you talk about like the not only like racism, you talk about like classism, you talk about all of these adversities that people are protesting and marching and trying to get past. It ain't nothing new, Jess. Listen. These people that are perpetuating these harmful things, they're not new to it. They're true to it, Jess, and they will continue to do it for as long as they can.
Why do you think people still fall for the same play?
Because people don't know the history, right?
And
I mean,
they remove history.
Yeah, Jess, like that's exactly why they're trying to get rid of books. That's why they're trying to get rid of the Department of Education. That's why they're trying to get rid of all, critical race theory. When you remove the history, you have the ability to repeat something that was harmful in the past because people don't know no better, right? So that's what it is.
The more you know, the more you grow, you guys.
But Jess, got to keep it moving.
Got to get your groove on.
Got to get your groove on. Let's move on from entertainment to what I definitely want to talk about, which is business. Business. We're going to get into our business topics of the week. And your boy Zuck is in trouble. You
should be.
Listen, they're saying that it's a monopoly. It's a monopoly. It ain't even a board game. It's a monopoly. The fact that he had Facebook and he purchased Instagram. He also has WhatsApp. It's a whole thing where they're saying that he is putting a monopoly on the market, and he kind of admitted that he bought Instagram because it was just way more profitable than Facebook.
Yeah, it was making more money. People were swarming Instagram. Yeah, and you bought it to corner the market, and if it's going to be better than Facebook, and then the fact that Facebook obviously is his baby, because in order to damn near have an Instagram, you got to have some type of Facebook, or if you want to make money off of Instagram, you want to monetize, you have to be connected to Facebook in some type of way, which I think is unfair, because if somebody don't want to use that shit, Facebook, they shouldn't have to. And you are capitalizing, because now I'm feeling like WhatsApp is it encrypted?
Yeah, it is. It is. The thing that I appreciate about that. Yeah, but I the biggest thing that I appreciate about WhatsApp is the fact that it's international, right? And it lets you communicate smoother. So I have, people that I communicate with that are out of the country, and we use WhatsApp, and it's an easy, smooth thing. But like, I mean, the thing is that we know that these billionaires, they're coalescing power, right? And that's the way that they do so. And so when they can control multiple forms of media, which whether people want to believe it or not, social media is the new media, and you can control Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, or let's see who gets their hands on TikTok. Like all of those things, you coalesce that power, you have control of media, you can actually shape a lot of different things. And we've already talked about how people don't critically think. And if they're not critically thinking, they're being told what to actually say or do on social media. You can control people.
Yep. And that's exactly what they're doing. Because I think he maybe even put a bid in or wanted to buy TikTok. Because it's crazy, when the ban happened, he went right before or right when the ban went down, there was no Facebook page. But then when it comes back up, Facebook has a page on TikTok. I thought y'all was beefing. Now y'all friends? What's happening?
Yeah. Ops linking up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's not the only crazy thing that happened in the business world this week, Jess. We got to talk about NVIDIA. NVIDIA is actually set to lose $5.5 billion because of the Trump trade war.
Baby, everybody losing money left and right.
Yeah. Like the actual wild part about this entire story is the fact that NVIDIA is a company that, of course, was set to invest here in the United States. It's someone that, you know, Trump specifically brought them in and touted them as, oh, I'm doing this and that, and which we already know that like the deal that was quote unquote secure was already a part of the Chips and Science Act. So of course he was trying to take credit for something that Biden did.
Of course, because he can't keep Biden's name out his mouth. Oh my God.
Yeah, and all of this is just like a massive negative blowback because we elected a dumbass. Like that's what it really boils down to. A lot of people are losing a lot of money. A lot of people are losing jobs, livelihoods, lives. Like a lot of people, not only in the U.S. but all around the world, are being hurt because there's a group of people in this country that decided that they would rather have a dumbass than the black woman,
which is crazy. They will find any reason not to support the intelligent black woman, the most qualified candidate you could come across. You will find any reason. You could say, they'd be like, I don't agree with everything Trump does. Then why vote for him?
Yep.
You don't want to say, oh, because she black, she a woman. I even kind of respect the people. What had one person say the other day? I don't vote for women. Now you're wrong in your thinking, but whatever. And come to find out he's having some mommy issues. But at least he was honest about it.
Yeah, at least he said it with his whole chest.
Yeah, and not saying it's Trump's policies when we know he only got concepts, but that's a whole nother story.
Yep. No, absolutely. I think that a lot of people were actually so focused on one thing, and I'm not even going to call out what the one thing is because we know what the one thing is, but so focused on the one thing that they ignored. Jess, you ever dated someone and you saw all of the red flags, right? They were never on time. They had like a quick temper. They never had any money. Like they were always in conflict with someone.
I left my wallet in the car. Damn.
But they were fine as shit, Jess. And you let that fineness blind you from the other things temporarily.
Definitely temporarily.
And then you come back around like, I think I messed up.
Yeah, because they'll do that one thing. You like, you don't even look good no more. Shit.
That's exactly what. Listen, a lot of Trump supporters were at first. I was like, you know, Daddy Trump. And now they're like, when you going home?
They are like,
I got stuff to do.
Fake fancy. I voted for you when you ain't even real.
Yep.
I kick your fake fancy ass.
Yeah, no.
Now, what show is that from? No, you don't answer. I want them to answer in the chat. I want them to answer in the chat. Yeah,
they can answer. They're better than me. And they can answer. They're better than me. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so that was business, Jess. But speaking of business, I mean, like, you know, we talked about Bezos earlier, but your boy Elon has got stuff going on as well. Jess, what's happening with that?
Well, you know that the whistleblower says that Doge may have caused significant cyber breach at the U.S. labor. Okay. The watchdog, the whistles is whistling. And I think we were talking about this on my live last night, if I'm not mistaken, because they have like a clip of him even speaking on it too, which is crazy. But they were just saying like they're as soon as they logged in, that Russia would try to log in with the same information, which is crazy. And then I don't know if you remember, there was a time when they were telling everybody not to look for Russia, you know, anything that's trying to be
cyber. They lessened the actual cybersecurity against Russia, eliminating offensive attacking. And they actually lessened the defensive attacking as well.
So, I mean, this is all adding up. It's all adding up. Like, I don't understand how y'all can't connect the dots. It's like the dots are like here to here and you just erase it or something like that. You don't want to see it. Maybe open your eyes.
Yeah. I'm going to say something that's really unpopular. I have an unpopular opinion about this, Jess. I don't care. Jess, you know how many class action lawsuits I've been a part of because my data has been stolen? That's why I didn't care about them keeping TikTok. They're saying, oh,
Facts.
they're gonna get access to, you know, our data with TikTok. They already got it.
That's
They
what I
already
was
got
got. They got everything. Especially if you in any type of the programs, they already got it. They see what
Yeah.
you're doing, they know what you're doing, and then they got your shit. But I've never received an email from TikTok saying, "Hey, your information has been leaked,
Mm-hmm.
or you could be a part of this class action lawsuit."
Mm-hmm.
But I've gotten money from class action lawsuits
Mm-hmm.
from Equifax, from
Yeah.
Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even a couple times.
Shit, I just got the biggest settlement of my life, like $400 something from lens crafters.
Hold on, what lens crafts are doing?
Like they fucking up too. Everybody, like, that's what I'm saying. Just at
So
this
it ain't
point,
them, it's us. It be your
yeah,
own, like they say, it be your own people.
be your own people. I'm just like, I get it. Like, fuck Elon, and I truly mean that. Like, I'm not a fan, and not a fan of Doge, and they should not be doing all this other stuff. But give me my $11.52 and just keep it pushing.
And I don't even think that's an unpopular statement. I think a lot of people would be like, hell yeah, fuck him.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Jasmine Crockett.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. But, you know, on another note, and I think that Elon would be happy about this one, because we know the whole situation that Elon has with his transgender child.
That he has disowned.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there was a massive ruling that occurred in the UK Supreme Court. And of course, the UK Supreme Court has no jurisdiction here in the US, but I think that it's something that conservatives here in the States are going to try to use and push, especially because, you know, you have this idiot. Jess, you know what a idiot is?
A dumbass idiot.
Close, a damn idiot, a idiot. This idiot,
It's
Donald
interchangeable,
Trump.
you guys.
Yeah, it is. It is. He passed the EO that says there's only two genders, which really he passed the EO making it one gender. Yes, we are all women. I am woman. Hear me roar. But anyway, the fact that the UK passed, and they made a proclamation saying that women, it's defined by their biological sex. Now, Jess, they did give a couple of caveats, right? One caveat is they explained that the concept of sex is binary, and they said that this ruling shouldn't be considered a win for either side. But then they also said that transgender people still have legal protections against discrimination. Jess, what are your thoughts?
How so? You telling us one thing. It's almost like what's a good analogy? I'm gonna take all the locks off your doors, but you're gonna be protected. You're gonna be safe. Nobody's gonna come in here and get you. And I'm gonna make an announcement that I took all the locks off your doors, but you're still gonna be safe.
Right.
How does that make sense? Like,
it doesn't.
Bitch, I am scared. This is some scary shit.
That's some scary shit.
Bitch, I am scared. The fuck? That's exactly what it's given. Like, you're trying to piss on me and tell me that it's raining. That's what it feels like. And you know they want to adopt any ideology that's going to fit their narrative. So I'm wondering what America is going to do in backdooring that.
Yeah, no, they're gonna try to find a way to wrap it in and use it as some type of precedence. I can already tell, but I mean, just the end of the day, and I tell people this all the time, and maybe the day going in. Shout out Glorilla. But the actual thing that I always boil it down to is like, let people be people. I genuinely mean that. Just like,
mind your own damn business.
Yes, people are so worried about controlling other people and being able to, like, you know, say that you can't do this or you can't do that. And like, okay, I get it. If you're actually putting someone in harm or even harming yourself, like, I get it. But outside of that
goes back to you talking about mankind wanting to put the bird in the cage.
Put him in a cage.
You want to control it. Mind your own damn business. Instead of putting a bird in a cage, why can't you figure out ways that you can touch the sky?
Yep. Yep. You know what? Because those who can't do, I don't even want to say teach. Those who can't do hate. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Those who can't do hate.
Mm-hmm. That's what it's looking like, and that's what it's feeling like for sure.
Yeah. But Jess, I'm so excited about the next thing.
WrestleMania. WWE. Yo, okay, come on, because that is my first of all, I'm rooting for everybody black.
Yup, that part.
Shout out to the EST Bianca Belair. Okay, WWE WrestleMania 41 card and predictions for the match order. Now, of course, it just gets bigger and bigger because even John Cena, like, you left movies to come back to WWE, which everybody was excited about because he was one of the big ones, just like when The Rock
big
came
match
back.
John.
Everybody was lit. But yeah, EST is definitely my favorite. What about you? Who's your favorite? Who you rooting for?
Chess. So for me, let me preface this in saying, like, I've been a WWE fan all my life, right? Back when it was the WWF, and I got into it because my dad used to watch wrestling. Yeah.
Hey. Who's your dad's favorite? Mine was the Undertaker.
Yep.
The Undertaker.
I was just about to say that.
Shut the fuck up, man.
Which now I don't fuck with the Undertaker.
Yeah, me neither.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. But like, I, as of right now, if I had to say who's my favorite, I mean, it's all like, I love Bianca. Bianca. I love Bianca. I love Jade. Right? Jade Cargill is a beast. So those are my two favorites. If I have to pick a man, then CM Punk. Right?
Oh, really?
Phil Brooks. Yeah, he had a great quote. I saw the quote this morning. And he said that people were basically coming after him because, CM Punk is a well-known leftist, right? CM Punk is also with the shits. And so he, of course, was using the old bird app, Twitters, and someone was on Twitter talking about, you work for a MAGA company. And he tweeted back at them, well, you're on Elon Musk's Twitter talking shit to me, so you can just shut the F up.
True.
Yeah.
He got a good point. Good point.
Yeah. So I love that. But Jess, I'm so excited. Like, WrestleMania weekend is always like a huge thing for me. And
have you ever been?
Even more so, I was just about to go there. 2 years ago, my wife and I, let me tell you what happened, right? And I think before we get into it, I think we got that quote from CM Punk, and because I don't want to misquote Phil, right? So the actual quote, he said, "Am I just supposed to quit my job because what? Because somebody on Twitter says the WWE is a quote unquote MAGA company? Okay, well, you're on Elon Musk effing Twitter saying stupid like this. Shut the up. Listen."
True. Shout out to CM Punk, okay? Because I never knew, but shout out to him. And I just found out that Roman was, on the right side. I mean, probably, which makes him even more of a heel. Because I don't like that either.
Yeah, like, there's a lot of a lot of them to get money and they change up. But so I'll tell this quick story. I went to WrestleMania 39, which was in LA. Yeah, which was in LA. And so what happened was, I told my at the time girlfriend, which is now my wife.
Come on, wifey.
Yeah, I was like, hey, I want to go to WrestleMania, right? Well, the deal was, because we had talked about, like, when do we want to get engaged, when do we want to get married, right? And so I told her, I was like, listen, and this was at the end of 2022. I was like, I'm gonna propose to you before the end of Q1 2023, right? Real business like. And so months and months and months went by, and I never mentioned it again. And so WrestleMania was coming up. WrestleMania was in LA, and so I was like, "Hey, I want to go to WrestleMania." She was like, "Oh, okay, all right, if you want to." Which she's so like go with the flow, doesn't really care. Like if you like it, I'll love it. Yeah, Scorpio.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah, but we don't do all the magic. But so we end up going, and the WrestleMania. We went to WrestleMania night one, which the mistake I made is we should have went to both nights. But anyhow, we went to WrestleMania night one, which was on a Saturday. And so I told her like, "Hey, we're gonna go to LA. I want to go to LA for WrestleMania." So we get to LA, and we're in LA, and I'm like, "Hey, I saw this really cool helicopter tour. You want to take a helicopter tour?" Because we did this once when we were in Atlanta. It was really fun. And at night we flew over the city in Atlanta in a helicopter and everything. And she was like, "All right, sure." So I was like, "Oh, they said that like they're actually shooting pictures or whatever. There's a camera person that's going to be on with us, and they're shooting pictures because they need to get like some aerial views. They said if we want to wear something nice, they'll take like actual professional pictures of us and give it to us for free, since the person's going to be riding with us in the copter."
I see the setup.
I was like, "All right, yeah. And I was like, so, hey, throw on something nice." And so we go and we take a helicopter ride, and we fly over Malibu. We fly over the Pacific, and we fly to the top of a mountain, and we land on the top of a mountain overlooking Malibu and the ocean. Listen, Plymouth Rock did not land on us. Right? And Jess, we landed, and on the last day of Q1, March 30th, last day, we landed on top of the mountain in Malibu overlooking the ocean, got off that helicopter, and I got down on one knee and asked my wife to marry me. Yeah. And then the next day I went to WrestleMania. It was a hell of a weekend, Jess. It was a hell of a weekend.
Did she cry? She's like, "Oh my God." Did she knew something was up?
She did. I was so nervous, Jess, and she apparently knew the whole time. She was like, "I don't know why you were nervous. You knew I was gonna say yes." I was like, "Yeah, I knew you were gonna say yes, but I was still nervous."
She's like, "I'm down, and clown. I'm down for the long haul." Shout out to her.
So that was my WrestleMania experience. So I'll never forget that. We had been talking. We were planning on going to WrestleMania this year because it's in Vegas, and
we love Vegas.
We do. We didn't make it. So
yeah, and it's okay. It'll be another time.
But that's the sports section. Jess, we got some music as well, right?
Do we?
We do.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
No. You got it, Jess.
We definitely do. Did he? Did he do it or did he not? He has now been out to looking for a Young Thug's lawyer. I want Young Thug's lawyer defending me. I get that. Because if Young Thug's lawyer can get him off that case, which was going on for what, like 5 years, feel like it was going on forever, but it didn't matter. He got the hell up out of there at the end of the day. He said, "Then I know you can get me off." He said, "Lord, I've seen what you have done for others, so I know what you can do for me."
I know that's right. Listen, the diddler is out there trying to do whatever he can do to get about his business, because the thing is he like, "Listen, this has been going for too long. Like I need some freedom." Listen, put Diddy under the jail. He should not.
There's too much evidence. What he did to Cassie, I think the best thing that could have happened for her and just for a lot of the other victims was that video coming out. And I hate, because she probably had to live it, but she probably knows too that people need to see that I'm not lying. For those people who don't believe women, everybody knew something was up. You think she's got this in-depth, detailed story and just made it? You don't make up those type of details.
Yep. You know what I didn't realize about all of this until it started coming out, Jess? Like, outside of the actual physical violence, right? When you talk about like the Diddy parties and the fact that he was, doing all this other stuff, I didn't know that. I guess it was just an open secret in the black community. Like black people knew about Diddy. Like black people knew what Diddy was doing. Like black people kept telling. Like 50 Cent has been warning people about Diddy forever.
They're saying it. Just like they
Yeah.
said the same thing about R. Kelly.
Yeah. I mean, like Cat Williams. Cat Williams was, saying the same thing.
Yep.
And then, like, it comes out, and certain people, people of the lighter hue, are shocked. I am shocked. We knew what Diddy was doing. Listen, Jess, the moment that I knew Diddy needed to be locked up and not let back out is when it was Halloween and he dressed up as the Heath Ledger Joker. And it was not a character. That was him.
And then he like got into it with somebody that night or something, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought she was going to say when it was Halloween, he had that wig on and he was like, bitch. No. He was flipping that hair or something like that.
Well,
yeah. I knew it was over. I'm sorry, but I knew it was over when he, what was he told Meek Mill, what do he call him, daddy or something like that? Call me daddy. I was like,
oh, Jess, I knew it was over when he had people walking to Brooklyn for some cheesecake.
Okay,
right? I mean,
and they did it. Everybody that went in there was not coming out right.
Mm-mm.
Something's happening. Something's afoot.
Yeah. I tell you what, I would love to see the clip. As a matter of fact, let's show the clip because again, I don't think people appreciated his level of detail as far as making sure he was set, but two, like this was Tyler the Great.
Tyler, you are my favorite rapper in the world. He looks beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, this is top tier.
Jess,
Jess,
that was not a character, Jess.
It's not because we've seen him. I feel like we've seen him in that same, just without the makeup and without the outfit.
Yeah, Jess, that was him, and that like I saw that video and I was like, nah.
Yeah,
no,
that's the real deal, Holyfield, right there.
Absolutely. All right, Jess, you ready to lock in?
I'm ready. Let's lock the fuck in.
Let's lock the in. Jess, I know we've been talking for a while and we talked about a couple of different things, but let's get to the meat and potatoes. And this week, Jess, we got to get into the different flavors of deportation. Yes, Donald Trump and the different flavors of deportation. We can start with Alberto Garcia. And what's happening with that situation? The thing that like gets me about this entire situation, just because there's quote unquote debates on both sides, right? He's a criminal, he's a gang member, he's a family man, he's innocent, he's guilty, da 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 da. The biggest problem that I have with this is the lack of human rights, and when I say the lack of human rights, Jess, I mean the lack of due process and actually letting this person defend themselves. I have a huge problem with that, Jess. What about you?
I agree. Putting all of these labels on someone without any evidence is kind of giving the exonerated five, calling for their unaliving without any evidence, saying that they're guilty and they're this and they're that, just to find out that they were innocent. So this could be another replay just to find out that Mr. Garcia is all the way innocent. He deserves due process, period. And it's like they have no humanity.
Yeah,
it's even very much evil. And I'm not gonna lie, if I didn't even see this picture here, I wouldn't even know if Mr. Garcia was still alive, because I'm like,
I was so relieved to actually see this, Jess, because I thought he was dead. I did. I'm not even gonna lie. I thought he was dead.
Yeah. I'm like, that's why they can't bring him back, because like, what is the issue? And you're defying, not only that, you're defying what the Supreme Court judges have told you to do. And that's also too dangerous for America, because now there's it's like unchecked power. I do what I want. These are people you put in place, and they tell you to do something. You're still like, no, I do what the fuck I want, and that's not how America is set up.
Yeah, no, Jess. I mean, the wild part about all of this, right, is the overall defense of it and the back and forth. Like again, I'm going to say something that might not be the most popular statement, but I mean, it's how I feel, and I think that I can speak for a majority of people. Like, I'm not against deportation, right? I understand that just like tariffs, they have a time and place, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am someone that believes in open borders, right?
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely don't care who comes here. If someone is willing to track hundreds of thousands of miles through treacherous terrain to get here, then we should give them every opportunity to come into the country and have a successful life as easily as
Mm-hmm.
possible.
Cause you gotta think, like, how bad does life have to be to pick up? Like, we barely want to move up the street to pick up your life, leave family members, everything
Mhm,
that you know. Like
mhm,
you say, take this dangerous trek just for a better life. Yeah.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, and even more than that, like I think that um,
Hmm.
people underestimate the point of fleeing another country, and to your point earlier, just like it's statistically proven that I think it's a high percentage, like 60, somewhere between 67% of people don't. Not only do they never move away from the state that they were born in, but most don't move from
Mm-hmm.
the city that they're born in. And just for people to get up and leave the country
Mm-hmm.
that they were born in and travel in certain instances, on foot, or however they may get here, and travel this long of a distance to get into the country for a better life, we have to give them that opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. Just as human. Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. And people always claim like, oh, they don't affect you. Some people
Yeah.
is like, I see them all at my job, so you're working too. So obviously your job wasn't threatened because you're at work. What is
Mm-hmm.
your problem?
Mm-hmm.
What is your problem?
Yeah, and I think, like, it's a hateful rhetoric. It's something that is so divisive. But I think that, like, when you talk about the way that things should happen, and the unpopular opinion, as far as like believing in deportation, yeah, I do. But like, it shouldn't be weaponized. It shouldn't be politicized. It should be something that's done intentionally.
Like
If there
Obama.
is, yeah, exactly. If it's needed. And
Hmm.
this situation where you actually, have someone who's been here for years, who has integrated themselves into the country, who has a family, you pick them up at a Home Depot, you cut them off from their resources, like the whole, like, deportation orders or whatever, the fact in 2019 that they said, he could be deported, just not to El Salvador, and they still intentionally made sure that he was deported to El Salvador.
Hmm.
Like, that's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. And they don't give and I don't know what type of deal because they caught they daddy on a hot mic telling the president of El Salvador to build more prisons.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if
Yeah.
I sent that one over, but yeah, so I mean, and now you done deported the man and now you gotta bring him back
Yeah,
again.
no, and they're fighting that in every aspect, as far as, and even the wording, right? They're not saying that, oh, they have to bring them back, but they have to facilitate the actual, I guess you can call it extradition or whatever, like bringing them back. But and it's
Deportation. Had to
yeah,
look that up, yeah.
I like that word, reportation. But like, the whole thing is now you have people on the right saying, well, Trump, and he can't. What, you expect him to tell other countries what to do? You expect him to drop SEAL Team 7 into another country to take someone? All this, just, they got to pick a struggle.
Yeah.
They got to pick a struggle. Even
Because
either
you like it when he quote unquote tell other countries what to do, but now all of a sudden
they fear him and respect him, and he's the all powerful mighty Oz, right? But
make it
now
make sense.
he can't even do it. He can't even do it. He can't even do it. But I think we have a clip that we want to play about that, Jess.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. I said, homegrowns are next. The homegrowns built. You got to build about 5 more places. Yeah, that's fair. All right. It's not big enough. No, yeah, come on. So this is a much different office.
Your homegrown, your U.S. citizens. I hope you guys are doing some critical thinking. Hope you guys are opening your eyes, like you say. Hope you guys are woke.
Just like the wild thing about this is that we talked about this like prior to all of this happening. We talked about how they specifically wanted to target American citizens. Like he started talking about it, and I started yelling, like jumping up and down, yelling about the fact that they want to deport U.S. citizens. And like people who support Donald Trump, people on the right, they were like, oh no, you're fear mongering. That's not something he really wants to do. And then they started talking about it, and then they shifted from that's not something he wants to do to, oh, he only really wants to get like the really bad ones and all this other stuff.
Every
And
country has their own bad criminals. You house them, you do what you're supposed to do in your country. You just can't send all your bad people to other countries like you claim that they were doing us.
And like did you see the story about the Florida man that was actually detained, and even though he was a U.S. citizen, had a birth certificate and everything, he was still being detained and held for ICE. That's the slippery slope, Jess.
Yeah, even the judge says no, that's an authentic birth certificate. You're not even listening to the judges. He even had his due process. What are y'all doing?
Yeah.
And I don't like the fact that they ain't got no damn uniforms. It could be anybody coming to pick you up and just detaining you in these places. This is very fucking dangerous. And I don't think people really understand what's happening.
Yeah. And I think even more than that, like you talk about the slippery slope. And this is why I have like the biggest problem with all of this, Jess. Once you start to infringe on constitutional rights, civil liberties, things like that, and you do it for like the small, obscure, group or whatever, it makes it more normal, and it gives you the opportunity to grow, to target more people, right? So it's not just about like this. Okay, yeah, they're doing this, but they then move on to who's next, right? Speaking of who's next? Just like the whole thing about this deportation process, because we've touched on it, and they say that certain people say that, well, we only have issues with people that are illegals, right? They do it the wrong way. We need people to do it the right way. But then we have people like, and I know I'm not gonna get his name all the way right, but I think it's pronounced Mohsen Mahad, who is the Palestinian protester, the student from Columbia University, who was a green card holder, Jess, someone who actually
the right way.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Jess, he was here
asking for a MAGA.
He was here on a green. He had a pathway to citizenship. Like being a green card holder, he had every single protection and every single access under the Constitution except the ability to vote. That's the only protection, the only thing that he did not have the access to doing at this moment. And they infringed on his First Amendment right for protesting.
And that was the number one thing that, like, we're protecting our free speech. Trump is bringing back free speech.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what free speech is? That means you can say whatever the fuck you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
But now you can't speak against him. You can't speak against his policies. You can't speak against what's happening in other countries for the sake of protecting innocent civilians.
Yeah, Jess. I mean, like we know for a fact that free speech, it's not about free speech. It's about the freedom to have the ability to say the things that they want to say without repercussions.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. They want to be able to say those words that they can't say,
Yeah.
and that's the problem.
Yeah. And you look over all the other shit he doing just so you could say that's your special word that you say
Mm-hmm.
in the bathroom by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what they mean by free speech. But when you talk about, literally deporting someone, like Marco Rubio revoking his green card, and then like the immigration judge said, you need justification. What is your justification? And Marco Rubio, the State Department, issued a 2-page memo admitting, because just at first they were saying, oh well, he's a Hamas supporter, he has ties to Hamas and all this other stuff.
Not true.
And yeah, Marco Rubio admitted in the 2-page memo that he has no criminal record. They have no connection as far as him being connected to Hamas, but they said that he was perpetuating anti-Semitism, and that was harmful to Jewish students that were on campus, and it conflicted with their global message as far as the State Department and what they were trying to perpetuate globally. Just Marco Rubio, he said it. He said the quiet part out loud.
Yeah.
What we're trying to do, perpetuate globally, is we're trying to prop up and boost Israel. And anyone that speaks up against Israel is a threat to us because they're a threat to Israel, and we don't want them.
There you go. There goes your propaganda. Right there. There goes your mission.
Yeah. Yeah.
Regardless of what's happening. They like, this is what we're trying to do. And we're trying to push it out globally.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's all of this is such a slippery slope for me, Jess, because you get into the fact that you are silencing someone on their First Amendment right, and then you actually deport someone without due process, so you're infringing on their Fourth, Fifth, Sixth Amendment rights. And we know that like Donald Trump was the last president to actually infringe on people's Second Amendment right with the bump stock ban. And now he's been infringing on people's right with the 14th Amendment with trying to end birthright citizenship.
So it's given very much dismantle the Constitution.
He said it.
He did. And they don't even
Jess.
realize it's happening right before our eyes, which is why Joe Biden was like just reiterating, like, remember your oath, soldiers, remember your oath. Because we knew this was going to be, the Constitution was going to be attacked.
Yeah, no. And like he said that he wanted to get rid of the Constitution. Like it was his words, and because he feels like it doesn't apply to him. I mean, like he's, made quote unquote jokes about being a king and all this other stuff. And like it all boils down to me as far as like wanting to actually just dismantle every aspect of the country that they don't agree with, whether it's, having certain protections for undocumented immigrants, or having access to healthcare for women, or, having access to education, like anything that they feel like is not beneficial to them or is something that would benefit everyday Americans. Yep. They're not interested in it.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yep, which is crazy because then you're gonna try to deport him, and then you're gonna have to bring him back, just like everybody else. Okay, just like Garcia, just like even the undocumented immigrants, the farmers say we need them. Now you're trying to figure out a way the self-deport, but also bring them back, which is a waste of time and money. You guys are talking about wasteful spending. That's wasteful spending.
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl is wasteful spending.
Yep. What else do you do, Jess? Name off some of the things that, because we know that Trump is good with BMF. Jess, you know what BMF is? Blowing money fast.
Oh,
And
come on
they
now.
talk about Doge and all this other stuff, but Jess, tell the people some of the things that he's done.
So the Super Bowl, the $20 million to go to the Super Bowl, wasteful spending. He's already been to 2 UFC fights, one prior to inauguration, one post inauguration, which was like sometime within this last week or two at the UFC fight, which is we got to pay that money every time he wants to go to these events. Mar-a-Lago golf tournaments, while the economy is crashing, he's playing a little bit of golf.
Which he's always doing. He's you know what the dumbest thing is to me, Jess? The fact that he plays and wins his own golf tournaments.
Yo, somebody said that he would call up to other golf places and be like, who won number one? What did they golf? What was their numbers? Oh, I golfed a better number here in Mar-a-Lago. Put my name up and say that I won first place. And they would fucking do it.
Yeah.
They would just do it. I'm like, it's mine. And they talk about how he cheat at his own golf course, which is crazy. But then, come on now.
Yeah. But
and then also the $97 million parade that he wants with the military.
Yeah.
For his birthday.
I mean, none of this makes sense to me. And again, it's giving very much, I want to be a king. And it's
having daddy issues. I need to be validated. I need to be praised. I need to be just continuously validated. But it's never going to be enough because you're not really getting it from the people you need it from. You want it from your daddy, and unfortunately, he can't give that to you.
Yep.
It's deep.
Jess, I'll say this, and I guess this will be my final thought on the topic of the week, right? Yeah, exactly. When you allow someone to actually start to open this door, you open this Pandora's box, right?
When it comes out of the box, she does not.
Exactly, Jess. Like there's not a situation where you do this, and I mentioned the fact that the Supreme Court is actually going to speed up and hear arguments on the 14th Amendment, right? Trump was actually trying to end birthright citizenship, and the Supreme Court is like, we'll hear your arguments, right? I think that the Supreme Court is going to make an example out of Trump.
I hope so.
I think they're going to make an example out of Trump because he's overreached, he's overstepped, he's not listening to the courts, he's invalidating the certain courts. I mean, I think when the Supreme Court makes a 9-0 decision, and Donald Trump
needs your friends.
Exactly, and he was like, "Well, what are you going to do?"
But real fans hold you accountable.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
and I think they're going to make an example out of him, and I think that they're going to slap down his attempt to strip people of birthright citizenship, and I think they're going to actually, I think they're going to set a precedence. And I'm wondering, I'm actually genuinely waiting to see what Trump does.
I hope so. Because somebody got to put a stop to something. Like, this is crazy. We need a
win. Yeah. But overall, I just like you talk about dismantling these norms, these systems, these structures, these different things that we have in place to protect us. You open up Pandora's box, you start to go down this slippery slope, and there's no stopping. And for anyone that's listening, anyone within the sound of my voice, or the people that just feel like, well, they're targeting this person, they're not targeting me. They're targeting these people. I'm not an undocumented immigrant, so that's not me. I'm an American citizen, so that's not me. I was born here, so it's not me.
Mm-hmm.
You're
and
not.
Then when it is you ain't gonna be able to look left or right.
Jess, the thing that I want people to know, those people that are in those spots and they say, well, he's not talking to me. They're not talking about me. They're not talking about me. You're not special. You're just next.
Oh, he's in the chat for Santana because I like that. You're not special. You're just next.
Yeah. And I land my plane, Jess.
Yeah, I think we need on that one.
Yeah.
I ain't got nothing better than that.
Oh man, Jess,
you know
this
what
has
I
been
can
a
say? Deportation tears. Tariffs. Coachella. Lakers in 5.
Whoa! listen, Jess. Timberwolf, Werewolf, Wolfgang Puck, Pucker Up, Lakers in 5. Boom. That was my own. I made that one up. Like specifically, that was me. That was me.
Direwolf.
Yeah. Damn it, I should have said Direwolf. I get it next time. Lakers in 5. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That was a great show. Good job.
Yeah, Jess. It's been another great show. Like, I absolutely I'm so excited to see how this continues to go, how this continues to grow. I hope that everyone watching just continues to love what we're doing. And with that being said, any final words for the people, Jess?
Just make sure you guys remember to comment, and the best comment will get a shout out at the top of each show. We thank you guys for being here. We appreciate the support. Want to show some love and definitely shout you out. So again, we love your feedback. We love your enthusiasm, and you just never know what that comment may be. So please continue to comment.
Yep. And with that being said, guys, listen. We just want to take a moment, as always, before we end the show to say thank you for tuning in to the Culture and Chaos podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and join the conversation on all the social medias, all of them.
And until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and don't let the chaos dim the culture. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Peace.